then do my business and I'll still be comfortable. But because you have people who are looking up to you to talk like you're their voice. Because I knew that during my first time I was given one traditional title, Hon Nkeiruka of Uturu community, and I was like, what does that mean? I said, why did they say you're the mouthpiece of the people? And so when you look at those old people saying you're their mouthpiece, and sometimes as a politician, as a woman, you want to quit because people are saying things that are not real. People are blackmailing you for some reasons, and so
people within the party or outside the party or electorate or
everywhere, within, in and out. Everywhere, even from close relatives that should understand you better.
They say things like, she's, you know,
like most times you're blackmailed. Oh, she's arrogant. Oh, she doesn't respect us. Oh, she's not doing much. Oh, she didn't give me this. She didn't give me that. Oh, she should have done this way. Like I said, it's a thankless job that where most people will never really appreciate you, and so. Sometimes you say, okay, why don't you just quit? But because you know that majority of the people, as far as I'm concerned, want you to be there because of them. And of course, there are people who ordinarily would be more frustrated if you're not there. And so, because of them, and of course, because for me, I see it as a calling. Okay, so I just keep pushing. I said, God, you've called me, so you have to fulfill your purpose for me in this particular field, and that's it.
Maybe many times you want to give up, though.
Yeah, so many times.
You know, but you see, 2 times, and you tried again the 3rd time. This time, the number, so you've seen the house, you know, very efficiently. We had more women before. Now we have fewer women in the house, and you managed to make it. Was it difficult to make it a 3rd time?
Even the first time it was very difficult. Second time it was difficult. Of course, the 3rd time it was also difficult.
So what did you do right that your fellow women didn't do right, that most of them were knocked out?
It's not about doing it right. It's about God's grace. Honestly, that's how I say it, because it's not even him that saw it, or how much. It's not about hard work. It's just grace of God. Because most times people do even more than I did, and yet they don't come back. Okay? Because you have a lot of things playing out there. But one thing that I know is that once you trust God, and because with God all things are possible, and when you see this mountain that looks so insurmountable, you said to her, God is there, and then you keep moving. And so I think my faith has really helped me to come back, and of course, goodwill. If you, because there's nothing like straight road that you follow and you make it. So I just believe that it's the art of God.
Nothing like straight road in politics.
There's no set down rules that this is like, it's not mathematics that you say, oh, 1 + 1 is 2, and that's it. You can what works for somebody may not work for you. And because we come from different backgrounds, different type of electorates, different customs and traditions, so it depends on the situation. And I believe that above all, it's just God, because God will give you the right solution for every question at every point.
2 things I want you to quickly address. One of them is, what would you beat your chest and say, yes, if nothing else, for my people, I have done this, and I've heard about the maternities you've built, hospitals, roads, and all of that. What would you say makes you most proud to have represented your people?
What makes me proud as I speak is when I look back, because when I was campaigning for 2nd time, I was like, in my first time, I believed that, oh, you have youth wing in your own campaign team. That means you're destroying the youth. So from 2006, when I was running, I didn't have any youth wing or something. And people were saying, oh, you don't have youth. I just had the old women, the widows, the traditional rulers, the older people, the chairs and stuff like that. And so I didn't really want to take the youths. Why? Because I said, my kids are in school. Why would they be here now? People are in school, and why would they follow you to campaign? And people come to my house like you. I say, what are you doing here? You're not in school. You know, they're like, oh, this woman is just crazy. we're going to campaign with you. I said, don't, you better go back to school. You understand? So, because I even had scholarship scheme before.
Instead of having young people campaigning for you, send them back to school.
No. So now, towards the end of 2010, I started saying, these people are just there. You're telling them not to follow you does not mean they are going back to school or they've gone back to jobs or something. So why don't you just get them, engage them meaningfully and see what you can do for them? And so by 2011, I established the youth wing. And my slogan was, remove the youths from the streets. You understand what I mean? So
I do.
You must remove them from the streets. So anytime I want to speak, I say, like, this youth, my ambition is to make sure that you guys are out of the street. My kids are in school.
Have you succeeded?
Oh, sure. Not really like everybody. So what I did in my second time is to try to make sure that I go to MDS, look for job opportunities. Instead of asking for something else, I said, please, give me employment.
That's something else's money. But I take a break. Instead of asking for something, employment, I take a break. That's why a woman's mind is probably different from a man's mind. But I take a break and I return to my final moments with Senator Onyejeocha.
Oh, thank you, Senator, but I'm honorable member.
I promoted you. Honorable. Yes, welcome back. She said I promoted her, but maybe you should even be higher than Senator. But whatever it is, I'm using you as an eye in the House now. Because recently I had a conversation with Honorable Jibrin, who's been out. And one of the biggest challenges with the House the past year is a function of the House. There's too much corruption, there's too much money coming out, the allowances are too high. And then just before I went on break, you mentioned something about, I ask people to give my people instead of asking for something else. So it means that there's a recognition that really something else does happen amongst our legislators in Nigeria.
Well, it depends on what you mean by something else. But what I know is that there are a lot of things to ask. You can ask for them to come and build classroom block. I have built some. Health centers have built some. And I say, okay, my first tenure in office, I attracted so many projects. I said, let us now go back to the youth. I promised these guys I'm going to remove them from the streets. And how do you do that? Apart from the scholarship that most of them are going back to school, the people who are graduates, what do you do to them? Okay, so I attracted some employment opportunity. And so for me, I will beat my chest that after 2011, that the youths of Isukwato Munoji, most of them have been gainfully employed, and I can beat my chest anytime. The records are there. And so, okay, so much corruption in the House. I don't really see exactly what that means, but I can tell you, I am not corrupt, and I can't be corrupt. There's no way I have to be corrupt, because the truth of the matter is that I have been elected to represent people. And so if during budget, I am saying that my people do not have road. Because let me tell you one thing, in 2007, I hope the TEP will still be there. When we were doing discussions on the budget, I got up. I said, honestly speaking, this one people are saying, oh, budget have to be passed. That's my people. The good people of Isukwato Munoji does not know the difference between when a budget is passed and when it's implemented. I said, for instance, see Enugu Port Harcourt Road. I said, from my village to Ihube, there's no good road network. That in my village, we don't have electricity. And I've seen this budget, billion, road. I said, I didn't see my town in this budget. I said, what are we talking about? And I started, because I was in appropriation committee then, I was like, this budget will not pass until you put my village name on. You understand what I'm saying? I said, I'm from Isochi. Where is Isochi here? Where is Isukwato here? Where is Utu? And then Honorable Adegoke, who was the appropriation chairman at that time, said, Honorable Nkiru, you don't ask me these questions.